Hey, what's up guys, Matt Shiny here, come back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the discontinued cases of CSGO. This one's definitely pretty interesting if you're into the investing scene, and it could offer you a little bit of insight that you don't know already. But before we get into it, Discord is going to be the top link in the description, and only about 15% of you guys that watch the videos are actually subscribed. But other than that, let's hop on into it. Starting off here, we gotta determine what actually counts as a discontinued case, because this right here, the Bravo case, this is not a discontinued case. This is not what we're talking about here. We're gonna be talking about cases that are gone and gone forever. These are cases that are no longer dropping and are not even a rare drop. That's the thing about CSGO, is there's only a couple actual discontinued cases, but there's a lot of cases that are in that rare drop pool that are uncommonly dropping, and people like to push them in as discontinued cases when they're not actually discontinued cases. They are still dropping, and there's just maybe a few of them dropping, but they are still dropping, and that's the main thing. We can't call them a discontinued case if there's still more being added to the market through the in-game drop system. Now, our first discontinued case we're going to be talking about here is the eSports 2013 case. Now, this came out on August 14, 2013, and it's generally regarded as the second case to come out, just behind the CSGO weapon case. But what's very unique about this case is that actually when it came out, a portion of the key sales were given to the Counter-Strike community, and that the people who bought the keys were kind of giving back to the game itself. Now, Valve has obviously gotten rid of this because they are very interested in their money, but it is something very unique about it. The case is currently sitting at around $23, and it is one of the most expensive cases to date. It's got a pretty small set of skins. It's only got 3 blues, 3 purples, 2 pinks, 1 red, and the OG finishes of knives, you know, like your M9 bayonet fades and stuff like that, the oldest knives to date. This case specifically is like to be used as a trade-ups because there's only 1 red. Now, it is getting to a little bit more expensive, and people have not been using it as much just because of how expensive the AK-47 red laminate is. It's a pretty expensive skin, coming in at $30 for a minimal, where people aren't really trying to drop $270 on their fillers for their trade-ups. But you know, it's overall a very good investment moving forward. We're never going to see this case again. It is getting to a point where it's starting to get pretty pricey, and you might not get a very good percentage-wise return on investment, so you might want to stick to a little bit cheaper ones. But overall, the case pretty much has nowhere to go but up, but we just don't know how significantly up it's going to go. The second discontinued case we have here is the eSports 2013 Winter case. Now, this case came out at around December 18th, 2013, and the nice thing about this one is it also gave back to the community as well, with the same thing from the previous case being that the key sales were given back to part of the Counter-Strike community. Now, this case has been discontinued, but it's not opened very commonly, and for that reason it holds a pretty low price point. Generally speaking, $2 for a case this old is extremely low, considering there's not many of them dropping. Now, it is not being moved very heavily on the market, but we have started to see some increases lately. The case contains 6 mil-spec skins, 2 purple skins, 3 pink skins, and 1 red skin. Now, this is not the most desirable case because the red skin is the M4A4 X-Ray, which is very cheap and not desirable at all. However, it does offer a little trade-up potential, as I said with the previous case. This one only has 1 red, so it makes it something to keep an eye out for when you're doing trade-ups if you're trying to get those filler skins that only have 1 red output. Now, this case does have the same knives as the previous one, but this one is personally the one I have invested in out of the first 3. Now, I think this one, coming in at a price point of $2 and only 3,000 of them on the market, leaves a lot of potential left to grow. We saw with the previous case that it's almost at $23, $25, and I think the eSports 2013 Winter case could definitely get there with time, although I see it going to around $10 if people continue to open this. It's not very commonly opened, but if people could start opening this a little bit more commonly, I think we could definitely see a pretty decent increase in price. Finally, to finish off our eSports cases here, we have the eSports 2014 Summer case. Now, this case actually came out in July 10th, 2014, almost 8 months-ish after the previous eSports case. Now with this case, it holds a roughly the same value as the winter case, coming in at around $2. However, this one contains a lot more skins. It contains 6 blues, 5 purples, 4 pinks, and 2 reds, and the only desirable skin is the AK-47 Jaguar. Now, although the eSports 2014 summer case contains the same knives, I really don't see a lot of potential with this one moving forward. This one has 5,000 on the market, and it's sold even pretty much less than the eSports 2013 winter case. Both of them have roughly a similar amount sold, but I just don't see this one going as high as the eSports winter case. Now, this one definitely does have potential because there is only 5,000 available on the market, but I just think that the eSports 2013 winter case has a lot more potential to move up rather than the summer case. The summer case will probably move up just because it's an old case and not because people are actually going after the skins inside of it. The AK-47 Jaguar is only like 30-40 bucks, and that's really the top tier skin of this one. Overall, for the eSports 2014 summer case, it's really struggled to get off the ground. It even peaked back in June of 2020 when the case investing hype really took over. We're starting to see another wave of that, but even so, it has not been able to reach the heights it saw then. It's really just struggled as a case. It definitely should have seen a lot better growth than it has, and for that reason, it doesn't make me too confident moving forward. I feel like it's kind of a forgotten case, and people don't really care that it was actually discontinued. Moving on into our fourth and final discontinued case here, it's the most common known one, and that's the Shattered Web case. Now, the Shattered Web case has been completely discontinued, and it's really struggled overall as a case. Now, it did have a very big peak back in July 2020 where it reached over $3, but has really struggled since then. With the Fracture case releasing its 4 knife finishes that were shown in the Shattered Web case, it has really struggled to be able to grab a footing. Now, the Shattered Web case does contain the AWP Containment Breach, which is a pretty desirable op. It's one of the only green ops, but it's really just struggled because there's so many available and people don't want to unbox them because they can unbox the Fracture case and get the same knives. Now, Valve really kind of screwed over this case just because the Fractured case came out so recently after it, and people were not done opening these, but they just transitioned onto opening the new case. This case could be the front runner though on what we could see in the future. We could definitely see operation cases being discontinued right after the operation is done. When Shattered Web, the operation finished, so did the case, and that's something people are starting to predict for Operation Broken Fang. Now, Operation Broken Fang is vastly different than Operation Shattered Web in the way you can spend your stars and such, but I think it's definitely holding that potential that it could be discontinued. But the Operation Broken Fang, it has those gloves, and those gloves could be released in a different case, but that's a whole different video for itself. Overall, the Shattered Web case offers a lot of good investments for the future. We just need people to start opening it up again. People are rarely buying this case now, only a couple hundred sold each time, when in the past we were seeing about 10,000-ish a day, moving up to 100,000 at peak times. And now we're just starting to see very disappointing results. The price is really stagnated as there's so many of these available, and that's something that is definitely going to plague the case moving forward, is that these are so available to everyone that wants them for only $1, and it's just something the case is going to struggle with in the future. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you have all enjoyed. This is a video I wanted to make because I've seen a lot of discussion on rare drops versus discontinued drops, what the difference is and what they actually mean. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.